Yo, 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 yo. Can y'all hear me? And stream, can y'all hear me? Let's go. Let's get it. We're back with another live talking sneakers. Today we have a very, very special guest, John, aka JSM801 Customs in the building.
What up? What up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, we have a very special guest and we have some very special topics to get into today. A packed agenda. Let's get right into it. Talking about some heat. The Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low Black Phantom. What are your thoughts on this sneaker? Let me hear it. Then I'll give you my
Um,
thoughts.
so I actually had this shoe in hand this weekend.
Okay.
Um, um, I would shout out who has it. It is a retail shop. They're scheduled for December. Again, backstory, people can't fake whatever, but no. So in hand, suede materials were super dope. I'm just not a big fan of sneakers that have like black soles, solid black soles.
Okay. I
I
can
can't.
feel that.
So honestly, if I do land a pair, I will be sole swapping that with a white midsole and a black outsole. And so I definitely don't like anything with a black sole.
Wow, that's fire. I didn't think about that. Yeah, soul swapping it. That's easy for you right there. That's an easy
Yeah,
fix right there.
I think it would look 10 times better with a white midsole and a black outsole. I'll keep the stitching white as well. On when I go to sew it back on,
hmm
I'm just not a big fan of like white stitching on a black sole. But I think again, as a Travis Scott, he never disappoints when it comes to quality. So quality's amazing. But yeah, it's just another Travis Scott that's going to be hard to get.
Exactly, exactly. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know materials are gonna be crazy. Obviously, Travis Scott always is a one with the materials.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just it's lackluster to me. It's black and white. You know. I guess you could say that. I guess I'm used to all of the Travises with the green sixes. You know, the white and brown. You know, or brown Air Jordan ones. The blue fours. I don't know. It just feels a little lacking to me. But maybe he wanted to make a more low key shoe. Um, I
Yeah, I think so. I think he just wanted to change it up because usually you see these earth tone colors, aside from like all the Houston Oiler colorways, but he usually uses the earth tone
mhm,
outgoing. I love the flavor that he always puts on it, where there's a plain color with kind of a loud color. The
mhm.
glow soles. I love a lot of Travis Scott sneakers, even though I'm not a big Travis Scott fan.
Okay.
But I do love the sneakers. I love quality. Um, but I just don't think this shoe's for me. But if I do end up landing it, I will probably, like I said, soul swapping that right away.
Yeah, and I have to see that because maybe that'll change my whole perspective of the shoe.
Right.
Maybe it's too much black. Maybe it's too much black, and maybe that will change the whole look of the shoe.
Yep,
Uh,
subtle changes I think will make that shoe look good.
yeah, yeah, and the sock lining is a little bit different. It's a different
Yeah,
material.
we're gonna be cutting that down as well. It's a furry material. It reminds me of like Oscar the Grouch.
Uh huh.
He's get this nappy fur. I'll be cutting that and shaving it all down nice and even and making it look as normal as possible because I can't wear the fur.
Hey, full custom, full restoration coming to this pair. That's funny. That's dope. I can't wait to see that pair. Next piece of sneaker news we have is Drake's new Nocta, kind of resembling or taking inspiration from the Zoom Flight 95. What are your thoughts on the Drake shoe? Did you like the original Nocta? Or are you feeling this one more?
You know what? I think this one's definitely a step up. I'm not a big fan of the original shoes. I think the only Drake shoe that, besides the PEs,
Mm-hmm.
that I have liked was the Bape one that's scheduled to release.
Oh my god.
And I get it. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it. It's a knockoff, whatever. But I think that's a decent looking shoe. But as far as the stuff that he's coming out with, I'm just not a big fan. It's not for me. Even though I know a lot of people love them, but it's just not for me.
No, yeah, and it's funny because I made a video about maybe 3 months ago saying where is Bape at? Like no one's talking about Bape. I felt like Bape is on the back burner, and then Bape drops the Marvel collab, brings it to the forefront, and now Bape is coming out with the OVO. There, it's crazy. It's like I struck a fire underneath them, and they saw that post. I was like, yo, where's Bape? And now they're dropping collab after collab, and Marvel collab is fire, and those OVO ones, the white and the black ones,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm big, super hyped for the Marble. I definitely will be buying the whole collection. I'm a big Marble guy.
Uh-huh.
I've always loved Bape. Bape was I liked Bape before I even got into like Supreme. Bape's always kind of been on the back burner. I don't think they've all been in the upfront like Supreme has gotten. At least not out. You know, normalized as much as Supreme did. Bape's kind of been stuck to the streetwear, and I love Bape. You know, went out to Japan, got to visit every Bape store that was out there. But I've always been a big fan, so I was excited to see that shoe coming out. Excited to see the Marvel collection dropping. So yeah, can't wait to snag every pair.
Yeah, I mean, Bape. Me growing up in sneakers from the era like 2008, 2009.
Yeah,
Bape was king. Like if you had like a Bape hoodie in my high school, like you were like
right,
the goat. If you had that shark hoodie, like you were the goat. And
right. You definitely was making money when you was rocking Bape because let's be honest, Bape isn't cheap even retail wise.
450 for
And
a hoodie
so
around there, right?
yeah, 450 for a basic shark hoodie. Um, but yeah, if if you're a D boy or whatever you're doing, that was kind of like a stamp to show other people like, hey, I'm making money. So
Yeah.
love Babe.
Yeah, definitely is a goated brand, and I can't on my bucket list. I'm trying to go to Japan next year, and
Okay.
I need to go to some of the Bape stores because I need to see them.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely when I went. Me and my wife went. Um, we went to all the stores, and it was cool because the weekend that we were there, well, I was there for like 14 days, but one of the weekends we were there, every store was dropping an in-store only um, collector's piece. So each store had its own T-shirt. So when I went to Kyoto, they had a Bape T-shirt that had Kyoto on it, and every store that I went to, it had the city on it. So and I was able to collect them all, and it was real easy for me out there because not a lot of big guys out there. So a double XL that fits me like a large, maybe a little bit bigger than a large. Um, they was like, "Yo, let them just take them, let them have them all," because not too many people out in Japan are as big as I'm 215 pounds, so
Yeah.
it was an easy cop for me. Didn't have to fight over them.
Oh yeah, no, that's dope when you're able to walk in the store and grab your size. I know that was one thing. I'm a size large, U.S. clothing. I've never owned a piece of Bape item clothing. I asked for a size large and I couldn't get it around my neck. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Yeah,
They were like, "Yo, the sizing's off. The sizing's off." I think I had to go
that's a
XL,
medium,
double
bro.
double
Yeah,
XL.
large in US is like a medium for sure. So yeah, you got to go up a couple.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's funny. Next piece of sneaker news we have is a first look at the Nike Dunk Low Green Velvet. So we have been getting Nike Dunks left and right, the traditional leather pairs.
Right?
Pandas have been coming out once every 3 days right now.
Yeah, they're on
But
like their 12th restock right now.
yeah, I think we're getting a restock on the 16th. I think in 2 days we're
Yeah,
getting a restock. But I'm
yeah.
definitely happy to see that Nike is coming out with a different material on the Dunk Low with this green velvet. What are your thoughts on it?
So I can only see one part of the shoe. I can't see the dark color on that shoe. So if you don't know, already don't know,
Okay.
um, I am I'm color blind. I can't see dark colors. So basically, past a certain shade, everything looks black to me.
Okay.
But I can see like the Nike check and stuff like that. But the material is supposed to be really good on these, and that's really why I'm for materials, is because a lot of the colors I really can't even see. So I'm a big material guy. If the material's really good, I'm usually all about it, and we'll definitely be copying this pair for sure.
Okay, so you're hands on. You got to touch it. But if you like this shit,
Yeah,
you
I
got to
gotta
touch
see it,
it.
and it sucks because I do a lot of returns to Nike, because of that reason.
Yeah.
In my head, I visualize a shoe, which is a color that, or two different or three different colors that I can't really tell the difference between. I get it in hand, hoping that the quality was just amazing, and I can't do it. So I do return a lot of stuff to Nike because the material is not quite what I expected.
Hey, listen, that 30-day return policy is there for a reason.
Right, right. We got a year, man. We got a year to return that much.
Yes, sir. You gotta test it out sometimes before you fully commit. Next piece of sneaker news. This obviously isn't a true Travis Scott collab, but rumors are that he is going to be collaborating on a Jordan 7. Here are some
Right.
mock-ups, and all of these mock-ups are horrible in my opinion. That's just my personal
Agreed.
opinion.
Agreed.
What are your thoughts on Travis possibly working with Air Jordan 7, and what do you want to see on it? What do you want to see him do to it?
I'm not a huge 7 fan. I will say a 7 is the first sneaker I ever painted.
Okay.
So I'm not completely against 7s. There's specific colorways that I do love of the 7s. Most of them were um, GS or women's releases because of the light lavenders and blues and sand colors. I would think a women got a lot of better colorways than we did. But I'm not against the 7s. So um, I'm just hoping for a good quality sneaker. I do like the reverse check. I'm a big fan of the reverse check, even though the debates happened that Travis Scott wasn't the first one. You know, we've had multiple shoes in the past that had reverse checks. Dennis Rodman's, LeBron 10s. There's a few other ones out there. So I actually like the reverse check, but I'm excited just to see what comes out. But I do have high expectations and realizing the quality is going to be really good. So if it's an easy cop, I'll definitely be buying, but I'm not paying resale.
Yeah, definitely agree. Jordan Sevens, I like them. That was my first Jordan retro that I personally bought was the Orlando Magic Seven. So they
Yeah,
definitely do hold a place
no,
in my heart. So yeah,
for sure.
that was my first pair. I picked it up for $90 off one of the homies in my neighborhood. He was like, "Yo, I'm done wearing this shoe. Take it off my hands for $90," and that's what started this obsession, this love for
Yeah.
sneakers. So
Mine
the
was
Jordan Seven.
first seven, I think, that I bought, after I grew up and no one was buying my sneakers for me, was the Orion 7, which to this date is still not a very sought after sneaker.
Okay.
It's definitely OG in the game, but it's not a very sought after one. But that was my first one, and I actually ended up painting it matte black. I left all the bright colors on the shoe, the blues. I
And
left them original, and I just did all the white with a matte black paint just to see what it would look like, and that was my very first custom.
did you like it or no? Were you like, nah, I shouldn't have done this?
Well, back then I didn't know about Angelus. It wasn't like you could just run to any leather store and they had paints available for sneakers.
Hmm.
It was kind of before all the Instagram and all that happened. There wasn't just a lot of um, places to source information, so it actually was out of a spray paint can. And I knew using flat black spray paint from Lowe's or Home Depot, it wasn't going to be wearable. But I thought to myself, I'm never going to wear this sneaker anyway,
Hmm.
but I just want to see what it looks like. And so I ended up painting. I thought it looked pretty cool. It was all blacked out, um, but it was not wearable. But
Yeah, that's funny. You brought up the Orion Seven. That I remember that one. That was back in my high school days. I think that was maybe 2010, 11, 12, around that
yeah, it
time.
was 2010.
2010.
2010
Yeah,
is when it dropped. Yeah, that was the year of the Orion. So
that was a good shoe. A lot of people in my high school had that shoe. I
yeah,
like
the
that one.
quality was pretty good on as well.
Yes, sir. So, last piece of sneaker news. Tomorrow is the day for the J Balvin Air Jordan 2 capsule collection. We're getting an Air Jordan 2. We're also getting a slide along with t shirts, hoodies, sweatpants,
All
basketball,
the merch.
all the merch. Yes, sir. For a retail price for the Air Jordan 2 of $300. So, Nike is hitting us over the head with that
Oh
retail
man.
price. What's your thoughts?
Um, as a customizer, I can appreciate and justify people's prices for sneakers.
Hmm.
When you got customizers that charge more than others or whatnot, and there's a lot of stuff on the shoe that I get it. The expenses were a lot more than a normal Jordan 2. Like even if you were to compare the Union 2, you have the glow sole, you have the tongue tag. That they did the jeweled light up tongue tag, um, or the logo across the tongue. So I get it, but $300, man, they are definitely hitting us over the head. And I think what's happening is if we keep paying these prices, Nike's going to keep thinking that they can get away with this.
Hmm.
And they're just pushing the envelope. And again, this is just me thinking it. I'm not saying I'm right or I'm some conspiracy theory. All I'm saying is if we keep paying these high prices for retail, they're just going to keep pushing it. And so if it was up to me, I'd tell everyone to let this shoe sit and we will see it on a clearance rack. But I know that ain't going to happen, but that would be my best advice. So this one is an easy pass for me. I'm not spending $300 on a Jordan 2.
No, yeah, I definitely agree because we could see that even with the Air Force One, from 90 to 100 to 110, and then most recently the color of the month Air Force One. I guess they said it was better materials at $150. So like they're testing
The
that.
problem the problem with them saying it's better materials is you have the Nike Craft that
Uh-huh.
is amazing tumble leather. It's got nice suede heel tab on it. Great shoe for an Air Force One, great quality, but it's still only 110. So for them to tell me that they're just using better material and they're going to charge $40 more
Yeah.
is crazy to me. They're just testing to see what we'll pay.
No, I definitely do agree with that. Especially like even if they were to look at like designer brands, like retail on designer brands is like 1,500, $1,000
Yeah,
sometimes.
right. And them they ain't even upgraded leather, to be honest. These Louis Vuitton that everyone's rocking, they think it's this genuine great leather. Guys, it's really not. It's still bonded leather. It's not what you think it is. But yeah, I'm not falling for it. I think it's a cool sneaker. I love to see that someone's doing something different. Um, it's not like your basic two or another design. Like a lot of these guys will take a design like Travis Scott.
Hmm.
None of his designs are original. He's taken that from a shoe that already exists, the reverse check, the Air Max 1. He basically just took that whole idea from ACG,
Hmm.
put a backwards check on it. This, he's taken the two and he's done something that looks completely different than any other Jordan 2 out there. So I commend him on that. But realistically, how much did he influence that? Nike might have been the ones that pulled all that and just said, "Hey, if you like it, we'll release it." And he just gave him a thumbs up. I have no idea, but I like it. It's different, but for $300, easy pass.
Yeah, I agree with that. The retail is high, but I'm curious to see what numbers these do on like the secondary market and see what the popularity of these are, because the Air Jordan 2 right now, 2022 is the year of the Air Jordan 2. We've
Right.
seen a whole bunch of Air Jordan 2s released, and we still have probably the best Jordan 2, the Chicago Jordan 2, to come out in October, I believe the date. No, I think it's no December. I think they pushed it back to December. It's coming out in the next couple of months. The
Right.
Chicago Air
And
Jordan 2.
I've had twos in my collection before. I'm a big fan of the lows that came out in '05. I know a lot of people are gonna roast me for this. The maize, maize.
Hmm.
It's a word it's for corn. It's maize. But that shoe to me was one of my favorite twos. I beat the shit out of that shoe. Sorry for what's but I wore that shoe into the ground. And that's kind of where restoring sneakers came from. Is I just beat it. It was all white with yellow accents on the tongue. It was a very, very comfortable sneaker, and that's what got me to Jordan 2s. So to see that twos are getting love is dope. I dig it. And then you have the flip side to it. You have a lot of these guys that think they're OG collectors or been in the game forever. That's now trying to, oh, now you want to be part of twos. Now you like twos. Um, we all got into twos when they were popular in '05. We all got into twos when it dropped, in '86. Like
Hmm.
these guys, these old heads need to realize that, hey, we all started at one point or another. So if it takes Nike doing collabs in 2022 to get people to love twos, I don't see anything wrong with it. So for all my guys out there that just gatekeeping, talking about you didn't like twos until now, y'all can keep that and take it somewhere else, because hey, we all got into twos at some year, because '05 was a Jordan 2 year. 2022 is going to be a 2 year. So hey, I welcome it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like if you're not introduced to something so often like the Air Jordan 2, because
Right.
like just like you said, like early 2005, 2006's Jordan 2, Jordan 2 lows were coming out, anniversary Jordan 2s,
Yep.
stuff like that, and then it just went like radio silence. Like no one talked about a Jordan 2 ever. It's
Right.
like one of
And
those
a lot of
models
them
that we're
were that.
forgotten
I
about.
get it. There wasn't a whole lot of love on the twos back then, but I've got to remember the community was really small back in the mid 2000s.
Hmm.
There wasn't social media to hype up stuff the way it is. And but no, I dig that they're coming out with twos. I mean, they have to at this point. They're running out of silhouettes, so they're gonna have to recycle a lot of stuff. And I think the Jordan 2 is a good. This is a good time for the Jordan 2.
Agreed. And listen, and Jordan Brand, if you guys are listening out there, bring back some of the 15s, some of the 16s. I'm a fan of some of these models, bro. Like I like some of the higher models. I know a lot of people say they don't go anything past 13 or 14, but I'm here
That's
for the
me.
15, 16. I'm here for some of these. I like some of these older, like ginger
Yeah.
16s and stuff like that.
Right.
These obscure colorways that came out in that early 2002 to 2007 mix when sneakers weren't as popular as they are today. I do want to give some shout outs to some people in the chat. We got Juan Guap in the building. Welcome to the stream. No thank you on the J Balvin. Okay, we got more people not riding the J Balvin. As soon as I saw the J Balvin shoe, I thought of Drake's album cover. Okay, we got the same the sky in the background. I can definitely
Yep.
see it.
100%.
What incarnation is floating in the background there? That would be possibly top 5 best shoe of 2022 to release. The Air Jordan 3 Fire Red. Let the kids call this shoe a brick. I'm saying it. Call them a brick. I will pick up every Air Jordan 3 out there in the street.
You know what's crazy is, I just got back from Vegas. I was in Vegas this last weekend.
Uh-huh.
Every single store out there, shout out to Chic. Every store, they took care of me, made sure that my whole family got a pair. But it literally, it was not hard to track down. I could have bought 3 or 4 or 5 pairs of every size. Every single store was stocked with them. Like it was crazy. It was like 4 o'clock on Saturday, and I'm still walking to these stores, and every store is sitting. I even went to shout out over to Undefeated in Vegas. I went to Undefeated afterwards on the next day, and still had sizes left, and it's absolutely crazy to me. People can say what they want about this release, but I think they were spot on. Sure, the color to most people they say is off, but it's really not that far off. It's the sheen. The sheen is different. The elephant print is different, but the leather's nice. I think they did really good with this one. I'm actually going to be aging mine out here in the next couple days, but I love that pair. So a brick. I'm not a reseller, so that word ain't even my vocabulary. It's a brick because they can't make it off. I'm not a collector either. I don't consider myself a collector, but that shoe it deserves some respect, and a lot of these younger cats need to realize that. So
yeah, exactly. Respect your elders. Listen, that's an OG. Respect your elders. Yeah, I hate that term when it's a brick. I've seen this thing on TikTok. They were posting like the recent shoes right now: the Citrus 7s, Green Bean 5s, Midnight Navy 6s, these Fire Red 3s, Georgetown 6s. A lot of these fire colorways, some OG, some newer style. But people are just disrespecting these models like they weren't grails. Like Midnight Navy 6s were grails. Green Bean 5s are grails. Fire Red 3s with Nike Air on the back are grails. Like, it's crazy.
Nike sign where it's at. Like, I can't believe, me, a lot of dudes used to call me OG Johnny back in the day because back in 2012, I was buying all the older shoes from 88 and 89 from Japan for $700 a pop. Jeez. Getting them, putting a new midsole on them, and rocking Nike logos. No one where I'm at here was rocking Nike logos. No one, because there was no one to restore them. So I'd go to LA back and forth for work in Vegas, and I'd be rocking like 2,000 white metallic 5s with Nike signs where the midsoles were still good. I was rocking 88 Jordan 3s. All the, if you go on my Instagram, I got the posts. You scroll all the way down to the bottom, I got the posts that show you I was rocking Nike signs because I was restoring them. Back then, it just wasn't seen. So in 2011, when they started releasing the Jordan 3, the 88 with the Nike signs, I actually got all of them and painted each colorway. I painted a fire red, I painted a true blue, just because I'd rather have the Nike signs. I'm a big fan of Nike signs. So to see them sitting on a wall, I love it because the resellers don't want it. Cool, I'll buy more.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a mix of maybe we're in a recession and people are not spending money on sneakers, or if it's just the newer sneakerhead not having a attachment to that sneaker. But the only thing that I say is it's more of the sneaker community not liking that sneaker, because if it was a Travis Scott shoe, it would be sold out. If it was, 100%.
The recession is here. That's real. I'm actually preparing for the recession myself as far as a customizer. And realizing a lot of the customs I got to bring the prices down so I keep my work to where my profit margin it's still worth my time. But I'm not going to be doing $3,000 customs. I'm going to keep my work a little bit more simple and doing a lot more restores, because I know a lot of people are going to be restoring their sneakers. So I'm going to start prepping myself to get back into restore mode to prepare for the recession. But I think it's definitely here. But no, if it's a Travis Scott release, people will spend their lunch money.
Yeah, exactly. Their rent money. They're not gonna pay their card note.
and it's cool. Like, I get it. If you're not attached to a shoe, if you didn't see Michael Jordan play when you were little and you didn't see these shoes on the court, or if you don't have any emotional attachment, I get why you don't like the shoe. But it's still, at the time, just have some respect for it, because a lot of these shoes that you're seeing today wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So
exactly, you got to pay homage to the sneakers, because without those sneakers, we wouldn't have a lot of sneakers that we have now. But we have Morning Hype in the chat saying, did you see the Adi Foam Q Mars and Neptune? And I have it pulled up right now on stream, and I think this is a perfect segue to start talking about Adidas and Kanye, coming from such a creative as yourself. Your opinion on it. I have the Neptune and what is it? Mars and Neptune colorways pulled up. It's a cool colorway. I'm not gonna lie. The blue and the browns are cool, but this is a foam runner in my opinion. Now I know they did try to say this was modeled after an earlier Adidas. I think it was in the 90s or early 2000s. They did show something that was super similar, but this is a foam runner in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak on it. I've, as a creator or designer, I hate calling myself that, but I guess I am that. But
Hmm.
I can see where there's room. I'm a big fan of Kanye. I'm a huge fan of Kanye. That doesn't mean I don't get that he's an idiot and says some dumb stuff every now and then. And a lot of people don't see his vision. And a lot of people take the words that come out of his mouth as face value. With
Agree.
Kanye, you got to dig into what he's saying. You
Hmm.
have to understand Kanye to understand Kanye. Um, so I'm a big fan of Kanye. I think he's going a little bit overboard um, with I mean he collabed with Adidas. Adidas is paying him, and I don't know nothing about the contract. So everything that I'm saying is just for what it's worth. I don't know what that contract says, but usually when I make a big collab with a company and I'm designing stuff with their colors that they have picked, they own all the designs that I mock up.
Okay.
So I don't know if everything he creates while he's tied to Adidas, they own and they can put out whatever they want. But again, I don't know what his contract is, but he's got to expect that. Virgil's done it. Virgil's taken a lot of ideas that he's seen while he was traveling across the world. The rain jacket was one of them. When he seen this 17-year-old kid's rain jacket with writing all over it, he took it and made it famous and never paid homage. So that's designer world, guys. Stealing and not giving credit where credit's due is everywhere in my world. So I'm used to it. So Kanye, he's at a different level of his own. He has to somewhat still expect it. So I think a lot of the shoes they dropped, like the slides that he said they got from him, I mean, I don't see it. I don't see the connection like he says he did. That shoe you're talking about, I see the connection, but again, I don't know what his contract is. But Kanye needs to relax a little bit. He needs to be more grateful. But I love the dude's work. I love his stuff, but it does suck when it happens and he feels like he's been mistreated, so he needs to move on. I think he'd be better. Nike doesn't want him back, I feel. He's too dramatic.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to do his own stuff. He needs to take Yeezy and do his own thing because he's got the right connections. And he knows all the factories now, so it's like, damn, it's just time to do your own thing, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah, I definitely do agree with what you're saying. And I know he was also pissed off about like them not opening Yeezy stores. The
Yeah.
manufacturer that they couldn't put out more slides, but then Adidas made their own slides, and then he lumped in Gap in the mix. That Gap was putting out stuff, and he lumped Kim in the mix. Like he's lumping so many things. Like I guess a lot of stuff is happening in his life, so he's making correlations to all of this
For
stuff.
sure.
So
He's got a lot going on right now. And the reason why these factories, you could sit here and think, well, the reason why these factories couldn't put out more slides is because Adidas, on the flip side, was doing their own slides. But just because Yeezy put out his own slide doesn't mean this company can't put out their own. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones that are in charge right now. Yeezy, it's an Adidas Yeezy collab. It's not a Yeezy Adidas. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so he needs to learn his position. But them factories could have been jammed up because Adidas was dropping their own stuff. So it's like me, if I'm working with another artist and we're collabing on something and I tell him, hey, I can't have it done by this date because I'm doing something with somebody else, and this guy gets mad. It's like, bro, I was already doing that, or this just worked out perfect timing, whatever the case may be. That might be the reason. But yeah, he's just going to be better off working by himself because Kanye is one of them guys that can't be told no. So
Exactly, he needs to do it by himself. I understand that the infrastructure and the factories and the not the insole, but the outsole making is expensive and this and that. But
he's got enough.
Yeah, he got enough to do it. And speaking of that, I did see this pair when I went to go pick up my Fire Red 3s. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it says watch stream on it. What do you got up there right now? You got some dunks, it looks like.
No, they're actually Jordan 1 mids.
So what it is right now, the screen is super dark, so I can't see. All I can see is a white background, but I really can't see what's on it. And it says watch stream on it. So
okay, so I pulled up the Air Jordan 1 mid SE Craft. I saw this in person. It looks extremely eerily similar to the Off-White Euro exclusive Air Jordan 1. And I want to get your opinion on it because even where the Nike check is, they have the little orange stitching on the Nike check. They have the exposed foam. It's a cream and white gradients going throughout. Different materials, suedes, aged midsole. I want to know if you saw this sneaker.
well, I'm looking at it right now. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah. I did see these. I've seen these. The overlay on the toe box. Yeah, it's definitely. I
That,
think it definitely has that deconstructed, flipped inside out. But you got to remember too, people can sit here and say, "Oh, they stole this from Virgil," whatever.
mhm.
But again, Virgil was hired by Nike, so anything he does, they own. Again, not knowing the contract, I can't say that for certain. But you also got to remember that Nike released an Air Max inside out as well.
Mhm.
Like they have Air Maxes that look just like that.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of exposed edges. It's not the very first shoe to come out with an exposed tongue with the piping missing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's a mid because I'm not a mid guy at all.
Yeah.
I actually hate mids, but y'all can roast me for it. I don't like mids because I'm a quality guy.
Yeah.
They fooled y'all into thinking that mids were good quality by stamping vinyl. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I think it's a very clean shoe. It's definitely something that I would love to customize. It's a clean base for a customization, but I won't sit here and say, oh, they stole this from Virgil. This is an off-white. And I get it. It looks similar,
Yeah.
but look at Jordan 1s. You can pull out 10 Jordan 1s that are very similar together. You know what I mean? You pull the Heritage one and it looks like the bread toe, and then it looks similar to the Chicago, then it looks similar to the Band. Like they're all very similar. There's only so many things you can do to a shoe.
Mhm.
But it has the same materials as the Air Force One craft.
Yeah.
It's got, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very similar. And hey, the way that people should look at it should, hey, I got a cheap shoe that looks like a European
Yeah.
off-white Jordan 1. They should be happy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually saw this one when I was in the store, and I was like, "What is this?" And I was touching, and the materials on this specific pair didn't feel too bad. Like, I think they stepped up the materials on this one just a little bit more
Yeah,
than they did on normal
for sure.
sneakers. And I thought it was cool. I don't like mids at all either. I don't have any mids in my collection. But I was
Yeah.
like, I called my wife. I was like, "Do you like this shoe?" Because she's in the sneakers, but she doesn't care if it's a mid, one low.
Right. Right.
She's not too worried on that. And she's like, "Yeah, I do like them because one of her favorite off whites is the Euro exclusive, and she's not ready to drop $7,000 on it."
Yeah. Exactly.
So I thought this was fire for her. So I might pick this one up for her in the future. Maybe a birthday gift or a Christmas gift or
Yeah.
something for her.
Yeah, I think it's a great sneaker. And not all mids are trash. I know earlier I said I'm a fan of material.
Mhm.
I'm just generalizing mids. 99% of them are trash. That's the
Agreed.
reason why they have rolled edges. They're not cut. You don't see them because you'd see cardboard inside of them. It's stamped material. You can literally heat it up and pull it with a pair of tweezers, and it will stretch like string cheese. It's
Mhm.
just vinyl. But they do have exceptions. They have multiple collabs on mids that look great. They have multiple releases like this that come out with great materials. So not every mid is trash. But that's not the only thing that makes a mid trash to me. And guys, it's just my opinion. I just don't like the cut. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
no,
but I think
I
if
agree.
you're into mids, that's one you have to get for sure.
Yeah, that's a good mid, and
Mhm.
like it's so funny because like when someone states their opinion, people love to take it as fact. Like on TikTok, you say your
Right,
opinion,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Here are the 5 best shoes in my opinion," and I got roasted on TikTok saying that like I have horrible taste. I picked the worst 5 shoes. I didn't say they were the 5 best shoes of all time. I said they were my favorite 5 shoes to come out in 2022. That my favorite.
just-
That's it.
I just tell everyone if we all like the same shoe, we'd all be the same person. And so the fact that your top 5 is different from my top 5 is amazing. I mean, that's what's so great about the the sneaker game in general is you get to express the best way you want by
Mhm.
which sneakers you buy.
Mhm.
If you're a hippie plain Jane type of guy, you're gonna be buying Chuck Taylors or whatever it may be. You buy your favorite colors, and that's your favorite shoe. The fact that it's not my favorite, and people call it trash or tell you have bad taste, it's like, bro, I don't understand TikTok. TikTok's it can be a very toxic place to be
Agreed.
if you don't know how to manage yourself through it.
Yeah,
You gotta
and
be
your
very
feelings. Yeah, you got your feelings. Sometimes people get stuck in their feelings, and TikTok can
Man.
definitely bring you down. We got Morning Hype in the building saying, "Are you copying the Tom Sachs brown, not the mustard?" I personally am not. What about you? Are you feeling the Tom Sachs, the new ones, the white, brown, mustard? I'm
No,
not. I'm not.
definitely. I'm not a big Tom Sachs shoe fan in general.
Mhm.
I like the idea, and if you've seen my page, you know that I've done an Air Max 1 custom with that idea, and I've done an Air Max 90. I dig the colors, but I just don't dig the shoes themselves. The style of the shoes. I don't like the big mesh material that he uses on the 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the pull tabs and stuff like that. I like the exposed tongue, but they're definitely just not for me. But I think it's a very clean shoe, and I think they look very good on people's feet, and it's easy to put a fit together. So I can respect it, but again, just not for me.
Not for me. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. TA vlogs. Are we allowed to put links in here? I would appreciate. Yeah, no links in here. We don't need no links. But thank you right there. Let's see what else we have in the chat. Nike would not be raising the price of dunks. So Morning Hype is coming in with news and questions. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so I know they were talking about they were raising the price of dunks by $10. They're not. I definitely do appreciate that. But here's a portion where we get to know you a little bit better, get to know your history on sneakers, and we're gonna lead it off with probably the most simple question. What was that first shoe? What was that first shoe for you?
Oh man, so first shoe that I fell in love with, or the first shoe that got me into the sneaker game itself?
Let's see the first. We can do both. We can do both.
So the very first sneaker, I was in 7th grade. It was the Nike Barrage.
Okay.
The whole time I thought the shoe was a completely different color. Back then, I didn't know that my vision was impaired.
Okay.
So I was completely seeing things different compared to everybody else, and I thought the shoes were green, and they actually were blue. But I come from, everybody's story. I come, from both my parents were married, 43 years, strong. They were married, so I had both parents in house. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was self-employed painter, house painting, so we didn't have a lot of money. So collecting things like that was not my forte, but I loved shoes at the time. And I remember for back to school in 7th grade, I seen the Nike Barrage on the shelf, and I was like, that's the shoe I want. I seen, the Air logo on the side of the sole. My mom looked at me, she's like, $70. They were $70, and she's like, they were like $79. She's like, if you get this, you're getting nothing else. I didn't get no Trapper Keepers, no pencils, no t-shirts, no socks, I didn't get nothing else. And she couldn't believe it, but that was the very first shoe when I knew that sneakers were, I just had a love for sneakers. So that was when it all started for me.
Hey, listen, we all have that one story that means something to us. Like with me, my parents, they would let me get like one really nice sneaker for the whole school year, or whatever that budget was. If I could break up 2-3 pairs, they didn't care how many pairs I was able to break up within that budget, as long as it was that $100 budget for that school year. And I usually got Air Force Ones, white on whites, because one, they're always in stock. It was the best looking shoe, and it was always in that affordable range where I think maybe they were around $70, $80 when I was buying them. Maybe $60 on the low end. If you could get some obscure colorways, I guess you can call them different Nike swooshes, not just white on white ones. Or like Adidas Shell Toes. Adidas Shell Toes is definitely one too, because they had a lot of different colors.
Shell Toes weren't very popular where I'm from. I'm back here in Salt Lake City. Shell Toes, we always had like some hip hop kids that thought they were like Run DMC or thought they were the Beastie Boys, and they rocked Shell Toes like they were like the coolest thing in the world. So shout out to them dudes, but I was just never a big fan of it. When Baby Phat came out with the similar style, that kind of came through the city. A lot of people were wearing them. People didn't. I don't know if people still remember the Baby Phat shoes or the Phat Farm shoes. Sorry.
Yep.
Where they basically just took that and put a P on the side of the shoe, but it just wasn't a big thing for me, so I steered away from that. I was an Air Force One guy. I had 300 pairs of Air Force Ones before I even bought a pair of Jordans.
Oh wow, yeah, no, I definitely was with that Phat Farm era. I had the G Unit sneakers. I had little things here and there that kind of regrettable. Always rocking Echo Unlimited, South Pole. always.
Always like in TJ Maxx and stuff out here.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely what I wore. And I can think back maybe to, I was probably in the 5th grade, so I was probably like 10 years old. And my mom had came home from Macy's with this and one like fit. Yep. It was the top and the bottom, and she had came with the N1 sneakers. Boy, was I hyped. I had my headband on. I had my N1, my jersey, my pants, shorts on, the sneakers. I thought I was hot sauce professor. Skip to my loo.
Right. The shorts were like, everyone was wearing like basketball shorts that were 4 times too big.
Yep. Exactly.
Wearing all kinds of cool stuff. I thought N1, You know, I wasn't big into playing basketball back then. I was a football guy back then.
Mm-hmm.
But all my homies were rocking And One. But I loved watching the And One mixtapes. I loved watching them. Watching, you know, the Professor and Skip to My Lou and Hot Sauce and all these dudes just disgrace people. I love the video. So every time there was a new one out, you go down to Foot Locker and grab the mixtape and just, you know, go home and watch it all night and call your friend on the cordless phone that the battery would die within 1 hour, you know, and you're just talking about, yo, did you see Hot Sauce? And oh man, I remember that was a good time. That was a good era.
That was a really good era. I was a little young. I was like around 9 or 10 when that was really popping, so I didn't get to enjoy it like to the maximum. But I definitely was brought up in there, and I definitely do have some pictures to prove that I was part of And One culture. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that one question where what was that sneaker that mattered to you? I guess when you were buying sneakers, then like what was that sneaker that started the obsession? I guess.
So Air Force Ones were, I think that silhouette in just general was my shout out to DJ Clark Kent. That's my dude. We've had several conversations about this. He's the one that I looked up to when I was growing up. That dude's Air Force One collection was the craziest. When Nelly and the Lunatics dropped that song, it's like every shoe they were talking about, DJ Clark Kent already had. The lime greens, you know, the yellows, just the crazy colorway. So I was always fascinated with Air Force Ones because you couldn't buy them here in Salt Lake. We had to travel to go and get them. So every time I was able to get out of the city, you know, Portland, Oregon, I'd always caught me some Air Force Ones. But my real love wasn't until 2010, and that was the LeBron South Beach 8. That shoe forever will own my heart. I'll never love a shoe. And I'm not saying it's the best sneaker out there, and I'm not saying
I'll say it. I'll say it.
That shoe changed the game forever. Y'all weren't doing lace swaps before that. Y'all weren't, you know, that shoe changed the game forever. There wasn't no dudes out there wearing hot pink, you know, on their hot pink sneakers before that shoe dropped. But the materials, the engraving on that suede around the lace panels, that nice tumbled, soft, buttery leather around the toe box, that nice, clean, icy sole. I mean, that green, that seafoam green, that color's amazing. And to see the writing on the lace tips and the
lion logo, the badge.
Dude, the tongue badge was cool. The banner on the inside of the tongue was cool.
The insole was cool. The leather on the little rectangle leather on the insole.
And it was sewn on. It had the badge sewn onto it. And then you flip it over and you just got the air unit it was like looking into the ocean. Like it was like a screensaver. That green, that seafoam green. Man, that shoe changed my life when it comes to sneakers. And I got the OG pair 2010. In my size, that shoe was damn near impossible to obtain. I'm a 13.
2K, 3K, 4K.
Yeah, it was like 4K. And then, you know, when I met my wife, you know, she was into sneakers before I met her. We've known each other for a really long time, but when we really started talking, that was a shoe that she absolutely loved, but getting in a size 4Y was, again, almost damn near impossible. And I ended up copping one within the last 5 years for I think I paid like $2,100 for it. But that shoe, to me, changed the game forever. And I just appreciate it. And I love the colors. I love everything about that shoe. So that's my one true first love.
That's so crazy that you say that. So a little history on me. I'm originally from South Florida. I moved to Atlanta 2 years ago. So the Nike South Beach, that was the sneaker to have, being from South Florida. And I grew up collecting sneakers in that Nike basketball era. So all LeBron 8s, 8 highs and 8 lows are the best LeBrons of all times. 8 9s,
all time.
10s we can go with the corks, teeter totter, back and forth. But 8, 9, and 10s, best LeBrons. Kobe Grinches, KD 4s, the Aunt Pearls, the Nerfs, all those fire colorways. Weathermans,
exactly. The year of the Dragon.
Oh my God, KDs were the best.
I was so upset with people about the KD 4. Because I see all my friends rocking KD 4s on the court, and I love the year of the Dragon. You know, I'm huge influenced by the Asian history, the Asian culture. All my I embrace that culture. It's gotten me through a lot of hardships in my life. So when I try to buy all that stuff, but the KD 4s, man, I remember I bought the year of the Dragons, put them on and man, they hurt. They were cutting my ankles. I couldn't wear none of the fours, man. So I was real upset about that. But yeah, bro, every shoe that you just talked about, that was like one of the best times in history for me.
Oh yeah, no,
In
in
the
sneakers like that. That was that was the Sprites, the Solar Reds,
Solar Reds,
Miami Nights, and
Miami Nights were going for like 3-4 grand at the time. I
yeah,
got a pair. If you had South Beaches, if you had Miami Nights, if you had the Sprites, if you had the Solar Reds, your 8 game was on point.
that's it. You were the king. You were the king of
And then
sneakers.
and then you had all the denim, the Clark Kent PEs
Yep,
with the elephant print, bro. Like the denim PEs. Oh man, bro, there was so many LeBron eights that were just untouchable, and was amazing, bro. I'm just, oh, man, I wish I
yeah.
could go back to that era.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why when I heard that they were retroing the Miami Nights and the South Beaches, for me,
Yeah,
for someone that couldn't spend the 2K or whatever they were
yeah.
costing at the time, dude, I called all my friends, all my family. I was like, you need to
Try,
enter this
try for me.
raffle, please. And luckily, I was able to hit for retail on the South Beaches. So I have a pair of the 2020 or 2019. I forget what year they came
Yeah,
out. I have a pair of those in the collection. And I didn't get
I
the
painted
Miami
my
Nights
2020
yet,
pair.
but I will. What was that?
I painted my 2020 pair.
Oh, you painted? What did you change on it?
I did the reverse. I put the pink on the whole and with blue accents, with
Oh
turquoise accents.
wow, damn, that's fire. Is it on your page? I gotta check it out.
Hey Jaden, go upstairs in my closet and grab my custom LeBron eights. They're in my closet, not where the sneakers are, but in the closet. But yeah, when that shoe, I heard that it was coming out. Of course, obtaining a couple of them were my number one goal because my 2010s were about due for a restore, a reglue. So I ended up buying a couple of that shoe. But when I looked 2-3 days after they released, $250, $300, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like I felt like they were disrespecting it, like at that price. And I know it sucks to
every
say.
every LeBron shoe is getting disrespected right now. Like even the nines, the Big Bangs, disrespected.
Yeah,
The Miami Nights, disrespected. It's the loves, and I get it. It's a new era. Basketball shoes have changed. These new kids like these Currys and these
Lamelo, Puma.
Mellow, and yeah, and to me they're the worst. Man, all these dudes got ankle injuries and knee injuries.
Look at
LeBron
this.
ain't had no knee injury that had him out for 2 seasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why I wear the sneakers back in the day. I wore 5s and 7s when I balled at Kobe's. Never had an ankle injury in my life. And then you get dudes that want to rock this new stuff, and everybody's getting hurt. So back then, the basketball sneakers were way better.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Right now, I have the South Beach out right now and the Kobe Grinch right now. Oh my god, those are fire! Oh my god, damn! I never thought of what a custom would look like that.
And even if you look at my
Sheesh.
lace eyelets, if you got your pair with you right now,
Yeah,
you'll
I
see
got
that
it.
the eyelets are translucent.
Yeah.
These are still translucent.
How'd you do that? That's crazy.
Yeah, so this, and then the Nike on your pair, you got the two-toned on the Nike logo
Yeah.
from the outer part. So I've made the two-tone as well. You have all the accents on the plastic pieces here that are two-tone. But yeah, when I knew this shoe was releasing, this was my time to paint this shoe because I always thought, man, a reverse South Beach is it, right? Like it's just
And it is. It is. That's the first time I've ever seen that, and that is crazy. I have a pair of Christmas LeBron 8s from
yeah,
2010 upstairs.
yep,
I bought them off a goat for like $70, and when I bought them off the description, obviously it's from 2010, so I knew they were worn. I knew they had their flaws, but there was no way that they said sole separation anywhere. And I got the pair in, and the shoes were talking to me. The soles were flapping everywhere. And
yeah.
I had brought them to some guy off of Facebook Marketplace. It's the worst thing I've ever freaking did. I was like, yo, can you fix these for me? He's like, yeah, bro, I got you. He's like, you got anything else to repaint? I was like, yeah, I got white cement 3s I need to repaint and fix too. So I dropped off the Christmas 8s and the white cement
Yeah.
3s to him. And when I got them back, bro, I wanted to cry. He destroyed them. And
Oh
right
man,
now, my Christmas LeBron 8 is upstairs in a box. I don't even want to look at it. It's so disappointing. I
what
have
did
it
he
in
do
a
to it?
box. He messed up the glue. He You know, on you see like on the Sprite has this like plastic material, not like a leather, but kind of like a plastic
Yeah,
paintish.
it's like almost looks like a vinyl texture to it, where it's got like some weird design, like it's
Yeah,
a weird plastic polyurethane
yeah,
somehow.
yeah,
It's crazy.
exactly. So that was chipping, so he decided to paint over it with paint.
Ah,
And I
yeah,
was like, what the? And the glue didn't stay in the midsole, so the shoe is still talking to me. And then when I got them, I was looking at them, and the paint is the glue. There's glue marks all over the shoe. I tried to clean them. I started scraping them. Oh my god, I was so upset. And my LeBron Christmas 8s are like ruined right now, and my white cement 3s are ruined as well.
well, you can send them to my son. My son does a lot of restores, and he's nice with it, man.
Hey, I gotta get the information because I definitely do want to restore the Christmas 8s because that's one of my favorite shoes. Like to be able to
Yeah.
own the Grinch and the Christmas 8s. Like during Christmas morning, I want to wear the Grinch on one foot and the Christmas 8 on the other foot because
Well, you remember that year? Was it 20 when they did the Christmas game and Nike started like judging the shoes that people were wearing? Like they had like a top 20 list.
yep.
Um, I made it number 8 best shoe of that game where he wore the Grinch and LeBron wore the Christmas.
Oh,
I did a pair for Nick Young. They were the purple patent leather 11s. I took a pair of Columbias and changed the
damn.
Lakers back in 2012, and so I got number 8
Wow.
best shoe of the night, and I was going up against the Grinch, and I was going up against
Yeah.
LeBron Christmas, and he was the only one wearing a custom, and he got 8 best shoe of the night.
What was the? It was just a Laker colorway, or was there
So
Christmas
yeah,
theme to it,
I
or
took the
no?
Columbia 11 lows from 2000,
Okay.
and I ended up just painting all the patent leather purple, and then put the shine on top of it, and so it was basically just like the 11 low that dropped not too many years back, the all purple pair.
Oh wow.
White
Nike's
midsole,
watching.
just purple patent leather. Oh man, we could talk about that for days. But
That's
if you're
funny.
a South Beach guy, I got another custom you might like.
Okay, so we got that's the same. The Arnold Palmer was on that model.
Yeah, so this shoe was the Easter, and I turned it into the South Beach 9 low. So I took
Damn.
the high top, the South Beach Elite high,
Yeah.
and turned it into a low top.
Wow. So you chopped it up right there.
Now this is just a low.
Oh, it's a low. It's a low. It's a low. It's a low. It's a
This is
low.
low. This is the LeBron 9 low top.
Okay.
And I just made South Beach, took the original high version. If you look it up and type in LeBron South Beach 9,
Yeah.
I made it into a low top. Just customized to look just like it.
That's fire. Yeah, I remember
So,
when they came out with the 8 and then they came with the 9 South Beach. I was a little disappointed on the 9 because they put it on that 9 Elite model, right? I think it was like called an Elite 9. It was
yeah,
like it
yeah,
was
with the Elite 9.
Elite
They
9.
came out with, there were some PEs. There was the Big Bang PE. There was the Canon PE. There was the tennis ball PE. Then they had like three. They had the black pair, the white pair, and then they had the South Beach pair that all released. And they were all if I remember, they were like 220 or 200 for the Elites,
Mhm.
Nike LeBron 9s.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an era when they had the Big Bangs and then they released Area 72 LeBrons and
Yeah.
all of these fire
2000
colorways.
All-Star Weekend that weekend.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, that's when they had. That's when Nike basketball was king, and to see
Yeah.
like Nike basketball just like drift off, like I felt like after 2012 ish, like Nike basketball fell off a
It wasn't even
cliff.
like it was a straight nosedive.
Nothing,
Dang.
bro. And I don't know. They had so much going for themselves. Like I felt like at that time, like Grinches were better than Chicago Jordan 1s to some people or to most sneakerheads.
I
Like
think to basketball players they were for sure. To people that actually hooped, the Grinch. I mean, I paid $500 for the Grinch the day after they released.
2010 or the new one.
Christmas Day, yeah, 2010, Christmas Day. I got on eBay because there was no there was
No
no
Goat,
Instagram,
no StockX,
no,
nothing.
nothing.
Nothing back
So I
then.
jumped on eBay and there was a guy selling a size 13
Uh huh.
um, Grinch 6 for $500, and I pulled the trigger right then.
That was a good deal because they went up to like $2,000, especially
Yeah.
size 13. You're looking at one of the hardest sizes. Once you get to that 13, 12 and a half, 13 and plus, like They make like
You
4 or
know,
5 per store.
they
Not
went from the
even.
Grinch. They went from the Grinch 6 to the Cheetah 7, and I think that's kind of where it started to fall off for me.
Yeah.
Um, the Cheetah just wasn't. I know a lot of people like that Cheetah. The strap, the ankle sock, all that. It just wasn't for me. And yeah, I think that's where Kobe's for me started falling off. Once it got to the 9, it was done for me. I
Oh
was
yeah.
done with.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was
Those
done with
numbers.
Kobe.
Yeah, those numbers were they weren't it. Even with LeBron's after 10s, you know, you had the 11s, 12s, and up there. Like then it got more performance and more. Because I'm not gonna hold you. Like I'm not the best when it comes to style. You know, people might be like, "Yo, he doesn't know how to dress," blah blah blah. But you'll
Yeah.
still catch me wearing a LeBron 8 South Beach wearing jeans. Like
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do that. Like flame me in the comments. Like do not wear them
Right.
with long pants, but that's just the era I grew up in, and I don't think it looks that bad. I know people like keep basketball shoes for basketball, but I would wear this to like a red carpet, a wedding.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
the tear, I would wear it.
Back then, that was the only time you could wear basketball shoes with clothes because they actually looked as casual as they could be.
Mhm.
Like the 6 Grinch, you could rock with a pair of just ankle socks or high socks with a pair of khaki shorts and a white T-shirt, and your fit's legit.
Yeah,
You know,
that was
you
that
grab a
era.
you grab a pair of South Beaches, bro. You could be in trash bags and still look good in a pair of LeBron South Beach 8s. Like, so to me, if you didn't know how to dress, sneakers was where to be because you could dress like a complete bum and have some dope sneakers on, and you still gonna get compliments about your sneakers. And to me, that's what made me feel like $1,000,000 because I could look in the mirror and I was wearing some grungy clothes back when I was young because they was hand me downs from my older brothers,
Mhm.
and but it was like them shoes. It made the whole outfit.
That
It made
made
me
the
feel
whole
like
outfit.
$1,000,000.
Yeah, I used to. I'm gonna admit to nothing. I used to wear basketball shorts and a collared T-shirt because we used to have to wear collared T-shirts for high school, and I would get
That's
away
my
with wearing
homie
basketball
Kelly.
shorts.
Shout out to my homie Kelly. Back in the day, we called him Donkey, but that dude wore like 3
Oh
pairs of
my
shorts
god!
underneath his sweatpants, and he was rocking baggy hoodies and a T-shirt that was 4 sizes too small, and his outie belly button sticking out. Like, and he was always had. You could always he was gonna count on him showing up to the party in basketball shorts everywhere
Yeah.
he went, rocking and one basketball shorts. And
He had some fresh
I
kicks
remember.
on to make up
Oh
for it, or
yeah,
no?
always.
Okay,
He was
okay, okay.
He was a big like 16, 17. I remember back when we was younger too. We were at a gas station. He actually got shot at a gas station we was at, and he was wearing a pair of Jordans. I believe they was 17s, and one of the bullets ricocheted off the ground and went in and threw his sneaker into his foot, and he was more mad that it went through his shoe than it did his
Ruined-
foot.
Oh my god! Oh
So
my god! I
yeah,
could
shout
definitely.
out to my dude Kelly, if you out there, man. I appreciate you, my dude. But yeah, he's the one that got me into Iversons when the Zip Iverson came out with the metal bottom with the face on the bottom.
Yep.
I actually bought him and me a pair the same time. But yeah, he was always hit to the basketball shoes. So.
Oh yeah, no. Even that era, like I guess that's what led up to the Kobe's and the LeBrons. Like
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
all the answers, all the zip ups. That they had.
Yep.
I think they had DMX on the side of it or something like that. They had on the side of it, and all those the questions, the answer, #1 draft pick.
Yeah,
And then
it was cool.
Barclays and stuff like that. Crazy.
Yeah, and the bottoms of them, had the metal. The new release they just came out with, I don't know how many years ago, but they released that model. It's rubber, but back then it was metal.
Mhm.
And I remember walking on a rock and it bent it. And I actually took them back to Foot Locker and they replaced it for me. And then I remember it having an issue with it around the toe box. You'd always get this sweat stain that would stain the leather.
Mhm.
And I didn't have a real sweaty foot. I never had real sweaty feet or none of that, thank God. But no matter what, no matter who wore it, you got this little strip. It was like a little line of sweat, and it would stain the leather. So I was always taking it back to Foot Locker and getting it exchanged out. And finally, they told me like, "Oh, we can't do this no more." Changed them out like 3 times.
They're like, yo, stop
But that
sweating
was
in your
another shoe that I
shoes.
loved too. The Answer, that was a dope shoe. And then the
Gary
insoles.
Payton, the gloves too. That was the inspiration with the zipper.
Oh yeah, that
The
was a dope
gloves?
shoe for sure. My son actually just cleaned a pair of them a couple days ago. Yeah, super iconic pair. Not a lot of people know about them.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that like you can find like pairs like that either like new or used on like GOAT right now, StockX, whatever you say, eBay, whatever platform you choose. Like there's so many shoes out there that are slept on, that are so influential in the sneaker community, that are so fire colorways, fire materials, look good with fits, They're like, we don't need to be buying reps, and that's the way I'm gonna lead into the segment. Like, we don't need to be buying reps. Like, even if you don't want to buy, like, buy Air Force Ones, buy Shell Toes, buy Adidas Free Run Ultra Boost. Sorry, not Free Runs, Ultra Boost. Like, there's so many sneakers out there that you could buy. Like, why are we buying reps in 2022, bruh? Like, why? And perfect segment, because you do custom shoes. There's custom, there's bootleg, there's unauthentic, there's fake. They say that if you make one shoe out of real materials, then it's a real sneaker. If you make a shoe look like another sneaker, then it's fake. Just like some people were turning the Heritage Jordan 1s into bread toes. What else were they turning them into? Bread ones. Chicago's. Are those fake? Or are those real?
So here's my outlook on that. And this is just my opinion, guys. Yeah. I'm not stating by no means that I'm correct, but I will argue with you all day. So if you're ready, I'm ready for the smoke. But this is my outtake on it, and this is only my outtake. So if you don't agree, we can still be friends. I promise you, it's not that big of a deal to me.
Of course.
So my take is, if you take a pair of Heritage ones and you paint them to look like the band one, back in my day, we called them away ones, because you have the home and you have the way. I don't use the term bread on anything but the bread 13. So let's just get that clear. Okay. You read the Nike Golden Bible, it states in it that the only shoe that was dubbed bread was the 13. So if you take a Jordan 1 Heritage and paint it to look like an away or a band 1, it's a real sneaker, but it's a replicated band 1. So that's not a real band 1. It's like taking a VIN number off a Mustang 5.0 and slapping it on the Mustang that came with the 4-cylinder in it, or the V6, yeah. And you're pretending to be a V8. It's not a real V8.
Yeah.
It's not a real band 1. It's a real sneaker, but it's not a real band 1. It's basically a glorified fake. In my opinion, you can't change my mind. It is what it is.
Okay, well, I didn't think you were gonna have that, like, that take on it. I thought that would be a little bit different, but no, I definitely agree. Like changing, customizing the Heritage one, putting the Travis Scott swoosh on there. I know a lot of people were doing that, taking that out to do the Travis Scott swoosh.
I got rich off that one. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's not a fake sneaker, but it's not the real sneaker. It's not. I don't think it's as bad as a fake.
My outlook on that is because they never released a red pair, so it's an alternate version of the authentic pair, which is the Fragment Blue. So if you're going to make a custom in a different colorway, I'm cool with that, because Nike never released it.
Okay.
So
I got you.
To me, that's a perfect custom. It's a recon decon, because you're deconstructing the checks.
Okay.
And then replacing it with a reverse Travis Scott check. So to me, fully acceptable. 90% of the sneaker is still authentic. You're adding a little bit of your own material, but to me, it's a portion. If it's 90% real, you're good to go. We can dig into anything.
Basically, customs of real shoes are replicas, in your opinion.
So if you customize a shoe to look like a shoe that already exists, it's a glorified fake. And when I say glorified, I'm emphasizing that, because it's glorified because it's still a real shoe.
It came from Nike.
A real band 1.
Yes.
You painted it to look like a more expensive shoe because, one, you either like it or you just don't want to spend the money on it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That sounds like a you problem. If you can't afford it, then my son's 14 and he saves up for every shoe that he wants.
That's the grind.
You got your priorities wrong. So if you're going to revert to buying fake sneakers because you don't want to spend the money, then the sneaker game ain't for you. And that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's too expensive. Not for everybody.
It's like driving a Benz, bro. Like, you ain't driving a Benz if you're working at McDonald's. That's why you go to school and get education back in the day. I'm not saying now, but back in the day, you went to school, got a better education, got a better job, and you could afford a Benz. You couldn't just go buy a fake Benz. You can't buy a fake Rolex. And so you're just pretending at that point. And again, I'm not here to tell anyone to do with their money. It's not that big of a deal to me. But just don't come flexing your reps, bro. Just nah.
Yeah, exactly. And especially like with TikTok, I don't know how long you've been on the app, but I've been on the app for about 6 months now or so, maybe a little bit longer. And like TikTok is like the home for reps. Not even just rep sneakers. It can be rep rep lives, rep lives. People have fake lives on TikTok, fake clothes, 100%. Fake watches on there. But I just feel like the rep community kinda attacks real sneaker community, and then when you fire back at them, it's hate speech in a way. It's hate speech, like, oh, we're gatekeeping, or we're trying to keep out this, or we're dumb for wasting our money. We're dumb for spending $1,200 on a real shoe, but you're not dumb for spending $150 on a fake shoe.
The way I see it like this is, if you're a gold collector and you're in a group of gold people that collect gold, and you come in trying to show this big thing of fake gold, false gold, what they call it, fool's gold.
Yeah.
Oh, I spent $20 on this, and this guy's, well, I spent $1,400 on my little bar. It's like, who's the fool? When you go to resell that, you basically just bought a paperweight.
Nothing.
So when they try to tell me, oh, you're stupid for paying $2,000 for a pair of sneakers, it's like, cool, I'll be that fool, because when I be the fool that needs some money real quick, I'm going to sell my pair for more, because 9 times out of 10, the market's gone up. Even though I've worn it, the value's still there.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to rep sneakers, there's no value. You're just wanting to look. And first of all, we're not gatekeeping. And again, these are just my opinions. I don't care if you wear reps. You do what you want to do. For anyone that's listening, but it's the same in everything. If you're in a biker gang and you're rocking a fake vest, you know, you're gonna get flack for it. You're probably gonna lose your life and mess with the wrong club.
Yeah.
You go to a car dealer and you've swapped a Type R Honda tag onto an EG that's not even a Type R, you're going to get clowned for it. Like, no matter what culture you're a part of, or what, you know, whatever you're collecting, there's always a group that has passion, that loves what they're doing, and they're going to hate on you if you're disrespecting it.
Yep.
And so for people just to say, oh, I'm just here for the looks, then go buy designer sneakers, bro. Go buy, if you're just here for a look, because Jordan culture and Nike culture is a lot different. There's history, there's passion, it's deeper than just sneakers, you know. So people can say, oh, it's just sneakers, bro, relax. Like, cool, it might just be sneakers for you. That's why you're not a sneaker guy.
Yeah, no, it's the hours of camping outside for a sneaker, or not even just camping outside for a sneaker. Let's just say
hours.
Days at a time. You can be camping out for a sneaker.
The 2010, and you can quote me on this. Feist is the name of my local. Shout out to Feist, my man Corey. I love you, my brother. My boy called me while I was in the middle of an interview for a job and said, yo, I'm giving you an hour heads up. I don't know if I should be putting that. I apologize, Corey. But either way, he gave me the phone call and said, hey, we got the LeBron 10 corks. I left halfway through the interview. I didn't even finish it. They even asked me why I was leaving. I told them straight up, there's a pair of shoes that I have to get. I'm not paying $2,000 resale on these. And that's what it was at the time.
Yeah.
I went down, and this is in January, because they released in January of 2010.
The cold, huh?
And I'm in Utah, bro. It was 16 degrees. I waited 6 days. I showed up on Monday at like 2:30 and waited till Saturday at 11 o'clock in the cold, bro. Like, I'd wake up and 3 feet of snow was on my umbrella. Like, I camped out for 6 days for that sneaker.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's how it was back then, with like Yeezys, Pigeon Dunks, stuff like that. Was camp out for days. Unfortunately, my longest camp out was only around 13 hours. That's
a long time.
Yeah, but I can't imagine 6 days, bro. But 13 hours felt like an eternity for me.
But people want to sit here and talk about all their just shoes. I've seen people lose their life. My man Philip Garcia. We were in Chicago when the Red Foams dropped in 2012. We was in line where the first dude in line got shot and killed. He was an 18-year-old kid over a pair of sneakers.
Foam posits were crazy.
I've seen all kinds of stuff. So when people say it's just sneakers, bro, it's not just sneakers. There's a culture here, and it's just like any other culture. It's hip-hop culture. You have to pay homage to these. So when you got these guys that are rep gods and rep kings that just don't care about the culture, they wonder why we don't respect them or we don't get along with them. It's because you're not even paying homage. It's one thing for a dude to just be like, look, man, I don't have the money. I love the shoes. I love sneakers, but I buy reps because I can't afford it. And cool. I respect that to the fullest.
Yep.
Because just like there was a podcast that I did not too long ago where it said, hey, can a rep guy be, you know, a sneakerhead? And gotcha. by shirt, for me, it kind of determines what kind of sneakerhead you are. But yes, it does. But at the same time, you don't have to even own any sneakers. If a guy came up to me, the guy came up to me in line and said, man, that's dope. Y'all getting the new Jordans, because he knew they dropped. Man, I wish I could afford them. I can't afford sneakers, but he knew everything about them.
He's a sneakerhead.
Bro, I would take him home and I'd let him pick any shoe out of my collection.
Yeah.
Because if this dude is a sneakerhead, I hate that term by the way, but since we're talking about sneakerhead, and he doesn't own any, but he loves the sneakers. Like, I know all about Ferraris. I don't own one. And if I go up to a guy that's got a Ferrari and I said, man, I love these, he's going to give me a ride. You know what I mean? He's going, man, I'm about to change your life today. Can you give me a ride? But that guy is a true sneakerhead because he knows everything about them, but he's not out here fronting, buying fake. So I respect, different situations and whatnot, but definitely you don't have to own sneakers to be one. So
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You can just, as long as you share a love for sneakers, bro. You're immersed in the sneaker culture. You watch videos on sneakers. You do your history. You do your
Right.
homework. You grind, and it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm not an OG sneakerhead. Like, we're not all. No one comes in as an OG. Like, no one's like comes out the womb with Chicago's on their feet. I mean, that's the only way you can be an OG. Like, you have to come out the womb with Chicago's on your feet to be an OG, because it
Right.
takes time. Everyone finds shoes differently. Some find it elementary. Some find it high school. Some find it when they're 50 years old because money, finances, whatever, different circumstances, bro. Like,
100%. But you can love sneakers from afar. You can own sneaker comic or sneaker magazines, sneaker knowledge. There was times. I remember when I bought them pennies that just released.
okay,
The white pair that just re-released for the first time.
okay,
That was
gotcha.
the first pair I bought with my own money, and I bought them for my best friend's older brother. And they were like 4 sizes too big, but he gave them to me for like $60. And I remember he let me pay money, like I'd pay him like $10 a week or something like that.
Triple sock
And
it. Put some socks in the front. You're
Bro,
good.
I loaded that thing full of socks. Like, honestly, it took like 2 socks, long socks of each one inside that shoe for me to fit, and they looked ginormous. I remember my mom, she's like, "You're not going outside with them things on your feet." And I thought they were so cool.
Yeah.
And
Just the
that's
love.
just it.
It's just a
We
love
all
for it.
we all pick up the game somewhere differently, and that's why my last video on TikTok, if you watch it,
Mhm.
it's like we have to teach these younger guys. We need to pass the game on instead of making fun of them for thinking that a pair of 2010 Cool Gray 11s is an OG color or OG sneaker, and we laugh at them like, bro, that came out in 2000. Nah, bro, we need to teach them like, hey, I remember when that shoe released when I was little. It was back in 2001, 2000, and my homie's dad put me onto that shoe. So we need to keep it moving with good energy and teaching these kids about shoes and history, because we're losing that part of it. That's why there's no respect in the game from these so-called reps, because there was no one in their life to teach them the history of where this passion and love comes from.
And the hard
And,
work
that's
it takes to
what's
get a
missing.
show. The hard
Work's
work to
missing.
get to show, because people just go on
Yeah,
their
so-
app and grab a pair on the website, and they don't have to
Yeah.
wait in lines. They don't have to go on 23's back and check for the release every day, and to hopefully
Right.
get an image of what that shoe could be. I remember going on 23's back and clicking the link to get an image of that shoe. Like, oh, is it up? Is it up? Oh, still not up. Still not up. I want to know what this shoe looks like, because I've never
Yeah.
seen that shoe before, the colorway before. And that was the dedication I would put into it. So yeah, no, I definitely do agree with you. We need to teach them. We need to let them know what's up, and
Yeah.
we need to get. Hey, listen, Rep Mysterio keeps coming on my page, bro. I'm about to block him, because every time I see Rep Mysterio on my feed, bro, he pisses me off every single
That's my
time
guy.
on TikTok.
That's my guy.
Oh my god! Because he's like, you guys are bozo. He's like, we don't wear the box. You guys are bozo for paying $1,200. I'm like, oh my god!
Rep's
Stop!
my dude.
Stop!
So Rep's my guy. So Rep, that's a very strange relationship I have with Rep. But no, I get where they're coming from.
Oh yeah, no,
I
100%.
get
Yeah.
100% where they're coming from. If you can obtain, if you're just looking for the look
Mm-hmm.
of the sneakers and you don't care about nothing else,
That's it.
you got nothing to prove to nobody.
Exactly.
You're not in the game. You're just doing it for fashion. And Rep plays the both sides of the fence.
That's
really
the
well.
thing,
That's why I have
yeah.
a lot of respect. For
Yeah,
him.
he does. He
And
has real and
He's
fake.
the only guy that can play the fence like that. So super big shout out to him. That's my dude. But again, he comes from a different world.
Yeah.
that I'm in. I'm surrounded by dudes that if I wore a pair of Reps open like that, they wouldn't even take me out to lunch. Like, these dudes wouldn't even let me. You know what I
It's
mean?
a different culture. It's a different culture that we grew up
And
in.
it is. But that's the guys I grew up with, and so that's why I am the way that I am. That's the game that I was taught.
Yeah.
The rules, the undefined rules and the untalked about rules that I learned was different. So Rep might not have that, or these other guys that are in the Rep community might not have that. in their life, so their whole outlook is different.
Yeah.
And I used to be the dude that would hate on all the reps and talk shit to everyone that was on the rep wearing reps and this and that. But now I'm just kind of like, hey, it is what it is. The times have changed. You're just not in my circle.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? You're
yeah,
not.
yeah.
You're in a different circle than I am, but we can coexist
Of
as
course.
long as we both stay in our lanes.
Yeah.
But when you guys call a guy bozo for buying a $1,200 sneaker, bro, it's like buying a diamond. You pay $1,200 for a diamond, bro. Next year it's going to be worth more. You know, to me, buying $1,200 worth of fake sneakers, and again, this is me, to where if they don't fit anymore, whatever the case may be, I can't resell that shoe. Like, these are investments for me. I remember in 2010, I sold 60 pairs of sneakers and opened up my first cell phone repair shop.
Look
You
at
know what
that.
I mean? Like,
Look at that,
that was
ladies.
an investment. If they were all fake, I wouldn't have been able to do that. My house, I sold almost 200 pairs of shoes and was able to put a lot of money down on my house. And if I would have been buying fakes, that would have never happened. So for me, this is kind of like a savings account.
Yeah,
You
you
know what
put
I
your
mean?
money in
So,
here. You could wear them. Most of the
yeah,
time they go up. If you hit for retail, sometimes when you pay
right,
resale, if you get in early, you can definitely end up making money or even balancing out. You wear the shoe 3 or 4 times, flex on some
right.
people, and then you move on to the next shoe.
Exactly. And a lot of people, when they're buying, like, Red Octobers, they'll wear them a couple times and they can still get a lot of money back out of them and go buy another hype shoe and then rock that for a little while and sell that and go buy another, hype shoe. So to me, when they say that we're bozos, I don't take it too seriously,
Yeah,
because I know
yeah,
that
it's
they're
content.
just they're just playing with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And just
yeah.
like we do with them, it's all just we can agree to disagree, or we can just have some good laughs about it. But I know there's a lot of dudes that get super sensitive about it.
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
not anymore.
Oh yeah,
No,
no, yeah, they always are in my comments. For some reason, every time I flash a shoe, they want to call it a rep. If I just quickly, it could be 3 seconds. They're like, "Oh, those are reps." I'm like, "How can you tell? How can you even say
yeah,
that the shoe is a rep? You've seen it on the screen for 3 seconds, buddy. What are
yeah,
you
and
talking
that's just
about?"
them trying to get underneath your skin. And
I'm
um,
like, "What are you talking about?"
and again, on my side, is I got nothing to prove. I didn't buy them. I mean, I got. If you look at my page, I own Solar Red Yeezys. I own Blink Yeezy ones. I own Red October Yeezys.
My grails right there. That's my
I own a lot of
grails.
stuff. But if you go on my page, I really don't post a whole lot of. You won't see it. Not one of two reasons. I don't like to brag. I don't like to discourage people, and I also don't like people to know what I have inside my house, because I'm always out of town a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so I just, that stuff, when I wear it out, nice events, I'll put some heat on. But I'm just not the guy that likes to brag about my fortune. And I know my case is different because of the line of work I do.
hmm
I work with a lot of people that can't afford these high, so they come to me for some cheaper customs. And the last thing I want to do is flaunt these riches in front of them, right? Like these super, like a pair of $12,000 Red Octobers. Like, it's crazy to me.
yeah.
I feel guilty wearing them because uh, me back in the day, I would have been the kid that would just look at them and been like, "Holy shit!" Like,
That's a car.
that's the grail. Like, that's, you have $12,000 on your feet right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So sometimes I do feel a little bit guilty, but I work hard at what I do. I work hard to get the things that I want, and
yeah. And
I
that's
can appreciate. I just don't like to show it off.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like that, I was gonna ask you that. What is your sneaker grill? Because the Red October is my sneaker grill. Like I always told my wife, I said, if I make it on this YouTube grind, this social media grind, sneaker grind, and I eventually fall into some money somehow, whatever it
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
that Red October is coming home with me. I'll buy it used or new. I don't have a preference. Probably used, preferably, because it tends to be more wearable. I think that way.
yeah.
But I would wear that shoe. I would love that shoe, and that is a grill. So what is your sneaker grill? If you had unlimited money, what sneaker would you buy?
It would probably be the Megadeth Dunk.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Now we're getting into Nike old school dunks and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, I just remember seeing that shoe back in the day, because I was a big Dunk collector back in the day. I love the history. So I'm a big country music fan.
okay.
And the reason why I'm a big country music fan is because of the stories. I'm sure everyone that's watched Notorious B.I.G., his mom talks about it. But I grew up listening to my dad was a country, and I hated it. My dad was a huge country fan. Every time I'd go to work with him, I'm listening to these old school country artists, Randy Travis, just listening to this nonsense. I hated it. Um, but then we take longer drives. I got to listen to the music, so the story. So Nike Dunks was the same thing for me. every dunk had a story. The dog walkers, like, you know what I mean? The Tide Temples, the Lucky, like everything had a story.
Dunks,
And
SB Dunks had stories. Yep.
it came from somewhere. It just wasn't a colorway that just mistake, Heineken dunks, like Tecate, everything had something that it came from. So I fell in love with dunks. And I remember the first time I seen that sample dunk, the Megadeth, and I was like, man, that thing is sick. There was one at SneakerCon the other day or last week, but that would be the shoe. I've only seen a size 9. I passed up on one on eBay that was just trashed. But that would be the shoe that I'd go after.
Yeah, and that's the thing with SB Dunks, like the story they tell and the fact that they weren't sought after as valuable. Like people skated them, like skaters skated those shoes. Like I have a pair of Miss Pac-Man Dunks. I think they came out in 2006 or maybe
Story about Pac-Man.
Miss Pac-Man's, and I got those. And one of the reasons why I got them because my mom loves Miss Pac-Man. She always played Miss Pac-Man, and I was able to pick up a pair. And I was like, "Yo, I need to get this pair." And I found a nice pair on GOAT, and I think I got a good price. I paid I think $300 for them. Wearable, nice materials, everything was still good, and no box or nothing like that. No OG stuff, just the one lace. But I love that.
It didn't matter. Back then, boxes, we didn't care about boxes until like 2014, 2013.
OG all? You want the tissue paper and receipt?
I didn't even hear that word until, when they started coming out with like very near dead stock. And that's a whole nother conversation.
NDS, yeah.
the terms that we used back in the day to compare to now, like the word dead stock, that word dead stock had nothing to do with the actual shoe.
Yeah. It's stuff that sat.
Dead stock means they were sold out.
Yeah.
That's it. It had nothing to do with the box. It had nothing to do with the shoe.
Yeah.
You'd walk into Foot Locker and you'd say, "Hey, do you got these?" They're like, dead stock. They're sold out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so times have changed. But I remember walking into, I don't remember, it was like 2013 somewhere. Maybe not. It was probably sooner than that. Maybe 2011, 2012. I remember walking into the Nike outlet and it was the Miss Piggy Dunks, not the Miss Pac-Mans.
Okay.
But there was a pair of Miss Piggy Dunks on the hash wall in a size 13 for $16, bro.
Hey, that's a come up.
No box lid, but I picked them up.
Yeah, listen, Nike factories and Nike outlets. I picked up plenty of pairs from there, like Oreo 6s, countless colors of Air Force 1s. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can wear throughout the day. Like free runs.
Just some beaters, some everyday beaters.
Yeah, every day. Air Max 1s, Air Max 90s.
My two loves right there.
Yeah, like all that stuff would you be able to find for $60-$50. You get a little birthday coupon. Sometimes you get 10% off. You start adding these points and these coupons together, and your sneaker come out to $15, $20. Like I love getting me a bargain. I love getting me a bargain on sneakers.
I was always that guy that knew everyone that worked at Nike because I was the guy that painted sneakers. Every time I went to the Nike outlet, I made sure to wear something that was painted to get the attention so I could build relationship with these dudes. And it got to the point where it was like any size 13 got returned. I was getting a text message from one of the Nike reps saying, "Hey, these just showed up. Do you want me to put them on hold for you? And you get that 40% off." And
yes,
that's why the connections are so important in this game. It's not necessarily the sneakers that are important; it's the relationships from them. But yeah, it was cool. I was picking up all the stuff that people were returning. Size 13, get it 40% off. And then I remember that it was getting a little bit shady. I was doing some shady stuff where I'd get a shoe, return it, and then wait 2 days for them to put it back on the hash wall and get 40% off the next day.
Hey, sometimes it's like that, bro. Sometimes it's like that, and I like that you brought up the fact about the connections because I get messages and DMs and stuff like that. Like, how do you get these sneakers? How do you get them? And I mean, I don't pay resale for much of my pairs. I think I've paid resale maybe for like 3 or 4 pairs. But it's the Foot Locker connections, it's the Finish Line connections, it's the boutique connections, it's the hey, can you help me with this? Can you and not even so much people holding me pairs, but like I said with the South Beach LeBron, I called all my friends, all my family, everybody that was in my contacts, basically entered that pair for me, and I was able to hit for retail. One of my coworkers hit for me. I asked my coworkers to enter it. So even connections like that, you don't need to know connections at Foot Locker, connections at these boutiques. If you make connections in life, sometimes they can lend you a pair of shoes. So connections is key.
I want you to grab one pair out of your sneaker collection and go grab your favorite pair. Come bring it to me. That's my youngest daughter. I'm teaching my kids young.
Hey, listen, I have a 8-month-old upstairs sleeping right now, and he already has maybe about 20 pairs of sneakers. So I'm starting young as well. So you do customizations for a lot of celebrities, athletes, and stuff like that. Who have been like maybe your favorite custom that you worked with? One of the person's customs that you made.
Ben Baller was my most memorable one for sure.
That's an OG. That's a triple OG right there, just like DJ Clark Kent, Mr. Air Force
Yeah,
One.
yeah. DJ Clark Kent. I haven't done anything for DJ Clark Kent, although I did get his blessing on a custom I'm currently doing that comes from his colorways. But yeah, Ben Baller was the most exciting. I was doing a reality TV series at the time.
Uh-huh.
I didn't go through with it because it's very toxic. But I've done stuff with like Darren Williams back in his, when he was like crazy basketball.
Yep.
Cool cat. He was the first one that like got me into the NBA and started introducing me to people. But them are probably my two most memorable. But I mean, I've done stuff for, rappers. I've done stuff for NFL. I've done stuff for MLB. I've done stuff for MLS, golf tournaments, NBA owners. You name it, man.
A lot of customs.
Them aren't the people that I chase. Like, them aren't the people that I target the most. I really would rather stay away from the celebrities, and the high end people, because they always want to pay you with follows or
A shout out.
they really don't value. I'm not saying all of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dudes that value me. That's high up. That's living in the higher tax bracket. Shout out to them. But a lot of them don't really. They'll say, "Hey, bro, I can get you a lot of orders if you do the shoe for me." And it's like, bro, I've been booked for 10 years. Like,
I don't need more.
I don't need. I can only do so many sneakers.
Yeah.
So realistically, if you just want to pay me, you don't even got to mention me. You don't even have to post it.
Don't even tag me.
Because I have a contract when I do stuff with like the big organizations like the NFL teams or the MLS teams. If you don't want nothing to do with me, then you paying this price.
Yeah.
If you're willing to tag me, I recently just signed a deal with the PFL to where they were willing to put my name up on the screen on ESPN during a live event.
Oh wow.
They were willing to give me all the tags on the Professional Fight League Instagram and TikTok, and they're like, "Hey, we're willing to pay full price and give you your shout outs as well." And so it's nice when an organization like that's that high up appreciates you and values you. So
let's see the shoe. Let's see the shoe. What's the favorite pair?
So she brought me two.
Okay,
So
she
got
couldn't
the
decide.
Cool Gray 4.
Hey, that's an OG colorway. I have the cool gray 4s.
The design, like the silhouette, she loves the 4. So, and then she just picked these up just recently. She loves OG colorways and she loves Nike sign, because once I told her, what that meant, she respects it. So her two favorite pairs. So this is my daughter, Jade Asia Millar.
Let's see.
Say hi.
Hi.
And she's my oldest daughter. But yeah, her two favorite pairs.
Hey, you can't go wrong with those two. Cool gray 4s. That I know that's not an OG colorway, but I consider that.
Man,
that's a
it's
fire
one of the
colorway.
best non-OG colorways.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, it definitely.
Sure.
It definitely is. Like, that cool gray 4 was something special, and the fact that it took 15 plus years to almost retro it. We wanted
crazy?
it. We wanted that
She's got
show.
a lot of OGs. She's got a lot of OGs in her collection. She's got a lot of OG 7s. I'm not talking OG colorways. I'm talking OG releases.
Okay, I got
She's got 1990 Fire Red 5. She's got a few pairs of 7s that are all OG releases. She's got a lot of OGs in her game. So
that's the one thing I'm missing from my sneaker collection. Not so much that I want to wear it, but something I would like to have in the collection in general, just as like an art piece, something from the early 90s. I think my earliest pair is 2005 or 2006, around there. But I want to get a 90, an 89, something like that. It could be completely beat. Midsole could be worn off, crumbling. I don't care. But I know they go crazy. Those prices go crazy. Sometimes $1,000 for something that's crumbled.
Crazy. I mean, I got 89 military 4s. I got 89 Fire Reds. I got 88 George Black Cement 3s. I collect the big the
heavy hitters,
big boxes, any of that stuff. I'm into the older sneakers, and what's cool about it is that's why I'm in the situation I am as far as restorations and customizations, because that's the shoes I was buying, and then I didn't know anyone that could fix them. So it was like, all right, I got to try it myself. So I started ripping soles apart, painting, and now it led to a full blown business.
Yeah, and last question here that I have for you. Um, what are your thoughts on that Air Jordan 1 Chicago Lost and Found? Do you like when Nike pre-ages the stuff, or?
Yeah. I'm for it. I know a lot of guys are against it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's fire.
I dig it. I mean, I think I'm waiting to see because I think they changed it. It's not the cracked paint like the Volt Jordan 1 came out with. I know they tested it out, this crackling paint, but I think they switched the materials on that pair. I'm for it. I necessarily don't think they really did it to a T. I mean, I do a lot of restorations on OG shoes. I've done every original Jordan there is.
Yeah, so you know how it looks.
I know how a lot of them look. So like the white on the bottom was very odd to me, and I get it. Some sneakers age like that, but it's not the correct aging. But I think they did a great job with it. I like that they didn't put. It's not quite an 85 cut. It's more like the 94. But I like that they didn't put the 94 sole on it, because if you look at the 94 sole, the sole kind of sinks in like a woman's wedge.
Got you.
It's weird, and it looks like it's too small for the shoe. So I'm glad they didn't do that. But everything else aesthetically, I think is pretty dope. I can't wait to grab a pair. I'll probably be waiting out at my local sneaker shop for them, me and my son. But I love the packaging, the
storytelling. Yeah, exactly. The on sale sticker, the receipt, the paper, like little things like that. That's right, and that's a fire custom right there that you have right there.
It's the closest. Oh, the Alma-Maniere.
Yeah. I see that the Alma-Maniere with the swoosh and everything. That's going crazy.
So I'll point out a few things. So on this pair, we ended up doing Alma-Maniere on the laces instead of the off-white, the typical off-white shoelace. I used the Alma-Maniere logo. The lasering, I laser engraved the inside.
Wow.
Instead of just painting it on there. I sewed and cut the tongue. So I sewn the edges so it won't come apart, and then cut it open, exposed it, relocated the tongue.
Okay.
If you look, the whole shoe is sueded out.
Damn.
Except for the side panels. See, there's no holes.
Yeah.
I always get rid of the holes if the customer pays for it, of course. I left the toe box and the side panels with the cracked leather, and then sueded out basically the whole shoe.
That's crazy. That's a dope custom.
And then the Nike check itself, I instead of doing like the normal, a lot of guys you just use like a cream or a yellow tint on the check. I tried to go more towards the actual midsole of the shoe.
Yeah.
And then of course, opened up the eye stays, like the off whites. But yeah, pretty cool. It's for a customer.
That is crazy. That's dope. I saw that. I was like, wait, let me see this pair again. I gotta see this pair again.
Yeah, seeing on my off whites, I add all the foam just like the original off whites do. Try to make it as close as possible without going overboard.
Yeah.
But yeah, super cool custom. This for a client of mine, so shout out to him.
And the Alma-Maniere 1 was a pretty good shoe to begin with. So just adding the enhancement to it, like it's a triple collab.
Crackling leather, the suede underneath that shoe is amazing. So yeah, that was a super cool shoe to work on.
That's fire. We've been here for an hour and 40 minutes, bro. I don't want to take up any more of your time right now, bro. This has been a great conversation, bro. I love it. We could have been talking for another probably 3 hours about sneakers and sneaker culture,
Definitely.
but
and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, exactly. Just that we never met each other. We saw each other on TikTok. I saw you on YouTube, and we built a relationship just like this. Talking for an hour, 30 minutes. And it was fire. It was a great time talking to you. Shout out all your socials for the people that are still watching, and for people that are on the playback. They're definitely going to watch this on the playback.
Yeah, so we'll start with my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get back into it now that my wedding's over and I can dedicate
Congrats.
more time to my
Congrats.
YouTube channel. I appreciate that. My YouTube channel is just JSM801. You can go subscribe. I'd appreciate it. My Instagram is where I put 99.9% of my content. Is JSM_801_customs, and I do all my anything that I ever touched is on that platform. My TikTok is just JSM801 customs without the underscores, and that's where I just talk more about customs, not really all my work, even though I put up the videos. And then I think that's it. I guess all my platforms.
That's it. That's perfect. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, make sure you stick around because we'll chop it up just for a little bit more after the stream. But listen, if you guys are here right now in stream, I appreciate you guys. You guys have been holding it down for the last hour and 40 minutes, so I really do appreciate every single one of you guys. Hit that like button on your way out there. Hit the subscribe button if you are new here, and if you are watching the playback, make sure to watch the video in its entirety. And if you're at this point, I really do appreciate you. And hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. That's all I gotta say. And make sure you follow. I will link everything down below. Shout out to Rockstar, huh?
Shout out to Rockstar. I appreciate you, everyone there. Angelus Direct, shout out. Coors Beer, shout out. Rocky Mountain